light. You can squeeze on in here. We're friends.
Right.
Hey there, everybody. How's it going? I hope you guys are having a blessed day today. And we're super excited to have you here with us. We had a few little technical difficulties.
Yes.
And so, but we're here. Praise God. I'm so thankful to be in the land of the living.
Yes.
I'm so thankful to be here in Houston because for the last few days it's been absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
It's so pretty outside. So not only is it the skies are absolutely blue and beautiful, but it also feels good. So we're in November, but it feels kind of like July,
Right.
but not Houston July. It's like a good July, right?
Not too hot.
Not too hot is absolutely perfect. And so, again, I just want to thank you so much for joining us for the I Choose Me conversation with my beautiful guest, Miss Shavon Majoi. And so I was going to say that. Majoi, but it's spelled so beautifully, Majoi, exactly how it sounds. So and spelled, so it's perfect. So hello Facebook, hello Instagram, people over there, and then of course we have the recording. Hi to you all, and we just want to again thank you so much for supporting what we do here by picking up your signed copy of Get Up Your Big Fat Procrastinator and any other products that we have, as well as getting our merch, the I Choose Me message. Because of your support, we are able to carry this message across the globe. And so I want to encourage you that as you jump on, shoot us some hearts and some likes. Make sure you share Shavon later on what we're doing. Share with other people so that we know that you're out there. And share with other people so that they also get an opportunity to hear the message of hope. And so for those of you who are new, or if you've heard it before, the I Choose Me message is the message of it's about creating a lifestyle of balance for yourself by being, by choosing to be emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, vocationally, which is what we're talking about today, healthy first, so that you can be of service to others. And then we like to talk about, or to compare it with when you go on a trip. Mm-hmm. on an airplane, and the attendant, they tell you to make sure that you put the mask on yourself first before you put the mask on somebody else, because that's what it's all about, is us being able to take care of ourselves first so that we can be a wonderful service and effective service to other people. And today we're talking about pursuing our passions. And I wanted to really talk to you all about the importance of choosing yourself first when it comes to your vocation, because a lot of times, especially people that are the generation above you, you'll realize, and then the generation that was before me, that when we're young, when we're in our teens and our 20s and our 30s, you know, we have a zest for life. And we enjoy the idea of being able to pursue our passions. But then when we get older, we realize that we haven't done any of the stuff that we talked about, right? And so a lot of it is because of life. You know, life happens. Bills happen. Where you're getting... where you're getting a chance to realize that as well. We have all kind of obligations that take our focus off of possibly pursuing our passions. And so we look up one day and all the things that we desire to experience, we didn't experience them. And I think a lot of it is because we didn't understand or have the idea that choosing ourselves first is really important, right? And so the choose me message does not mean that you won't be able to have that beautiful family that you desire. You know what I mean? It just means that you're able to give the true authenticity of yourself so that you can be a benefit to others from the fullness of who you are and what you have to give the world, right? And so and the truth is that sometimes you have to live a little. You know what I mean? So sometimes, like as a teenager, or when you're 20 years old, you're green. You don't have any idea of what you want to do, right? And so, genius takes time. And I'm sure that when you were in your teenage years, you didn't 100% see yourself here, like all of it. It just,
most definitely.
it takes time. Life happens, right? But then outside of all of the distractions, the fears, the bills, the work, the mistakes that we've made, it's still important that whether you're 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, or 60 years old, there's still time. There's still time to get out of the boat and walk on water. Am I right? And so I want to encourage you to choose yourself today. And we have a short time, and I know you're super busy, and I just want to get on in here and talk to you. And the way we like to do it, of course, is just to ask you some questions, and you just share with us, your answers, and we'd love to hear it. And there's a few reasons that I wanted to invite you here, because I love your entire story. I love that you started singing in the church. And that helped you to jumpstart your acting and your singing career. I love that you are a woman on the mission. You're extremely multi-talented. That's super awesome. And that you're not afraid to go to work, to fight for what it is that you desire and what you want. And when we had these meetings at a previous venture that I'm working on, you came in and you started talking, giving your side of the story, and it was full of wisdom. And so I was like, oh man, this is a very young person that's full of wisdom. I love hearing you speak. Awesome. And without further ado, well, let's just jump in and ask you, some of the questions. That first of all, will you share with us what you've been up to lately regarding your business?
Okay. Well, I like to look at myself as a business because I am an entertainer. So lately, I have been on tour with 1999 Dreams Productions, and so we've been in Memphis and Phoenix and Dallas, Vegas, and now Houston. So
wow.
Houston is be this Sunday. So that's been an interesting journey, being able to travel and do what I love. Even though there's obstacles, it's crazy how you can experience things and you look back and it's like, hey, I prayed for this years ago, and
right.
and it's happening. So that's been great. And then just getting different feedback from people on my single that I released on my birthday this year. So I'm...
What's the name of that single?
Don't Rush. Okay.
Oh, I love that. What I love about you as a musician or singer. Just recently, your mom celebrated her 50th birthday, and I was like, Shavon, you want to get up there and sing at the event? And you're like, yeah, why not? Now, unfortunately, we couldn't get a chance to hear because they weren't doing, the little guy, the DJ said that they can't do it for that night. But I love your bravery. You're like always ready, always got your stuff, always got your stuff together. And so, what are some of the lyrics on Don't Rush that you like?
Let's see. Take your time. That's why it's called Don't Rush. Even though I'm talking about love, I feel that love applies to every aspect of life, and we rush things. And when you rush things, you don't enjoy it. You don't get a chance to appreciate the quality of what you have. You don't get to enjoy, and I say in the song, enjoy every moment, every season. All seasons are not happy-go-lucky, you know what I'm saying? But you have to enjoy each moment because there's something that you can learn. There's a way that you can grow in every season and every moment. And so I just feel that if we don't take people for granted, if we don't take moments for granted, we will live with less regrets and we'll be better off altogether. So that's, kind of my heart behind the song.
Oh, I love that so much, especially when you said, it's about relationships as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no reason to rush that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times we, especially as young people, get caught up in relationships because of rushing things, and then you find out later it's like, dang, why did I rush that? I could have held back just a little bit longer.
Sometimes you might find out someone's crazy, or you might
Take
find out that maybe we should just be friends, or you know what I'm saying,
or run.
Right, that too. Like, I mean, and even outside of romantic relationships, we should take our time. You know what I'm saying? Even when you have a difficult boss, there's something that we can learn. If we're not so focused on the flaws and we take our time to try to focus on the good, then we can be better off. So that's why I say love applies to everything, not just, we love each other.
Yeah, and it has to do with your passion too, right? If you love what you do, whether it is writing a book, whether it is skiing, whether it is whatever it is, that it's important to take your time, marinate in it. Don't rush it. You know what I mean? But then also understand the importance of time, because time does be ticking, baby. I'm like, time is money and time ticks. Okay, talk to us briefly about your background regarding your foundation to make sure that your head is balanced, and especially when you're making decisions. Like, what's your background regarding your foundation?
Okay, well, of course, I have a relationship with God, and so I, allow God to guide me. I try to pray about the things that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And I get wise counsel, because you can't ask everyone for advice, because you never know what kind of advice you're going to get. You don't ask a mechanic, you know what I'm saying, something about education or, different things like that. Make sure that you're going to the right person and, try to glean from people who have fruit in what area that you are wanting advice from. So pretty much that, and prayer, and then just listening to motivational messages and the Word of God. So like one way that I'm able to get it, in my spirit daily is I make sure that I have something motivational, or, I listen to Pastor Joel a lot, because, it's Christ-based.
Is that the church that you...
Right, yes. When I'm in town, that's where I am.
Okay.
So I'll listen to him and, other people. Not everything is necessarily like actual church message, but most of it is. But I do it when I'm taking a shower. So that's how I know I can be consistent. Because consistency is key. And if you start your day being fed positive things, it affects the trajectory of your entire day. And it just puts your mind in a different space, because I don't know about anybody else, but I know for me, my mind is always like, oh, I got this to do, and this to do, and this to do, and this to do. Right. And so I'm not really, thinking about things from a positive perspective. Okay, I need to, start my day, on a positive note, so that when someone comes and they do something that upsets me or bothers me, I am more focused on, okay, I was having a good day. I shouldn't allow this to get me off course. So that's one thing that I like to do. So my foundation is God, and I believe that staying grounded and surrounding yourself with positive people who support you, who believe in you, you know what I'm saying, who will encourage you when you're feeling down, because you're not always going to be excited, you know what I'm saying. As an actress, you get way more rejections than you do, actual roles, know. So, I mean, you can audition for 98 things and maybe get 10 to 15. And that's literally the reality of it,
Right.
So, if your focus is on the negative,
you're in trouble.
You won't last.
Yeah.
So, that's why I think your focus is very important, because, if it's on the negative, then that's going to, get you down and damper your spirit.
My husband, I told you, girl, you are full of wisdom, and I love everything that you just said. And my husband tells me also, it's like you can't focus on all of the distractions, and, focus on the one, like focus once you get that one opportunity or what have you, that's the one you focus on. You don't focus on the others, because the rejections mean that you weren't supposed to do them, and that's okay. And the same thing with relationships, right? If you are outside of the realm of where you're wanting to go for your future, and that person is not the right person for you, that's completely okay. It's like, thank you, Father, and I love you, said God is your foundation. That's not my person, and it's okay, and you keep it moving. I love that. And I also love that you said that I get wise counsel. You know, not only is my foundation on the Word of God, but I get wise counsel from people who have the fruit. And so you don't want to talk to your girlfriends about having children if they don't have no children. Now, don't get me wrong. Y'all can talk about the funness of it and what y'all plan on doing with your children and stuff like that, right? But what can they tell you about labor? What can they tell you about raising a 2-year-old? What can they tell you, do you understand what I'm saying? And the same thing in business about pursuing your passions. And so it's good to be with those groups of people that are doing what it is that you want to do. I love that.
Yes.
You have a lot of gifts and talents, and how have you been able to hone in on those things that are the most important to you and for your future? Because you have so many things going on. How are you able to hone in on that 1, 2, 3 things?
Right. I mean, I think, prayer is really one of the main things that I do to kind of help me that, okay, so what should I focus on right now? And I've gotten to the point where I have to say no to opportunities. Because,
that's good. Right. That's always good.
So you can't say yes to everything, because that's how I was. I was saying yes to everything, and I was overwhelmed. I was stressed. I was trying to, balance it out. But I'm one person. I can't be like 10 places at once. And so, just kind of evaluating, you know what I'm saying? Comparing, okay, different opportunities. Is this really going to serve me? You know what I'm saying? And just getting wisdom, like, okay, because there are some situations where things have happened that I've wanted to leave, but I'm like, okay, no, I'm going to commit to this. I committed to this, so I'm going to stick it out. And something has happened that I look back and I'm like, I'm so glad I stayed.
Yeah, okay.
I'm so glad that I decided to be faithful in that manner, even though things were not easy, because things are not always easy.
Right.
Just like, people deal with bosses or coworkers they don't like. It's the same thing in entertainment. Everybody that you work with, it's not going to be pleasant. Things are going to happen that you're like, what? I don't deserve this. Right. And so it's easy to want to walk away, but, just being sensitive to, the spirit. I feel like everyone has that natural intuition, the natural feeling of, is this where I'm supposed to be? Right. And I believe, that prayer definitely helps with that. And then just kind of prioritizing things and just getting more organized. Like, that's one thing that I've definitely had to do. Like, I have to put something in my phone calendar, because if it's not on my calendar, listen, I'll be like, yeah, I can do that. For sure, I will be there. And yeah, it won't show up because it's not in my calendar.
Oh,
yeah.
Or, well, the good thing about that is that you can do it on the spot.
Yes. Yeah. Right there. Okay, what was that? Okay, let me put it in right now, because if I don't, then there's that chance. So if you're organized, it can help you balance it where, because a lot of people, they feel like, okay, yeah, you're good at a lot of stuff, but you only need to do like one thing. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Just like the story in the Bible of the multiple talents that were given. We're not supposed to just bury them in the sand. We're given multiple gifts for a reason. But that's why we have to get wisdom on what we need to focus on. Okay, so on this day and this day, I'm going to focus on my scripts over here. Okay, on this day, I'm going to go model for this company. And then on this day, I'm going to do this. So it's just really being organized and being able to balance things, because if you want to do something, you'll make a way. If you want to. If you really want to, you will make a way. So it's just balancing that. And then sometimes you have to sacrifice to be able to do multiple things. You know what I'm saying? You may not be able to go out with your friends and stuff every time, because it's like, okay, well, I would go out with y'all, but I've committed to this. Right. That helps to balance as well. You know what I'm saying? When you are eliminating some things that are maybe not as important, you know what I'm saying? Or, or is not as high on the priority list.
Okay.
So that's just kind of how I am able to balance things. Because we were like, how are you doing? Listen, it's the grace of God. Because especially back when I was in school and working and acting, I was like, I don't know how I was doing it, but I would leave one thing and go to the next.
And so I love that you said that it's important for you to stay organized. And you mentioned that if it's not on your calendar, on your phone calendar, that you can forget about it. And so when I get on the road, when I'm at home, when I am whatever, everything is on my... I mean, it's filled. And so whether you are getting an actual organizer or whether you are doing it on your phone, whatever you need to do to stay balanced, because you said, and we know this, that whatever it is that you desire to do, you could still do it, you know, and it's okay to be multi-talented. Are you still dressing people?
Yes, I still style people.
It's called styling people. I'm sorry.
Right, yes. Wardrobe styling.
Yeah, okay,
you know?
Wardrobe styling.
But yeah, so I definitely give people tips or personal shopping. Because shopping is like stress relieving for me. Even when I'm not shopping for myself, like anybody that's close to me, they'll say, Shavon, all you need to do is send her shopping. She'll be real happy. If I'm in a bad mood and I go shopping, I'm like,
Tabitha was talking about retail therapy last night.
It's very true. It's very a real thing, especially for me. So yes, I definitely should do that, because I feel that even though, of course, you know, what's on the inside is very important, how we look on the outside and how we feel about ourselves on the outside affects how we feel about ourselves on the inside. So, you know, just that, you know, that feeling when, you know, you see someone put on an outfit and they're like, oh, this is great. I really like this. I feel great. You know, that's really important to me, for people to be able to feel that they look good, because we all look good. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. I love what Deion Sanders said. It. You know who Deion Sanders is? The football player. Forgive me if I misquoted, but he said, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. If you play good, you're paid good.
Right. I know that's right.
And so I know that's good stuff, right? So it is important to look good, and that's super cool that you're still styling.
Right.
You mentioned, we were having a conversation recently where you were saying that although you may have made some decisions career-wise, you know, in the past, but you have to pay your bills in the future, so you've had to make some adjustments. Talk to us about the importance of being able to still follow your passions when you have to pay your bills.
Right. Okay. Well, just kind of counting the costs. You know, different things. Like, there's certain opportunities I'm like, okay, I would have to drive to Dallas for this. And, okay, so this is the money I'm going to spend on gas. This is how much I'm actually making. Is it wisdom for me to take this opportunity? Or is it more wise for me to take something in Houston that might pay less, but it's down the street? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so just little things like that, just comparing opportunities. So it's like, it's cool to be able to, I went out of town to do this, but it's not always worth it.
Right.
So just, you know, basically just evaluating everything and using wisdom in all your decisions, because it'll save you time, it'll save you money, it'll save all of that. And then just kind of, you know, also just goes back to balance, because I mean, certain sets, you're going to be there maybe 24 hours, you know what I'm saying? Or you might be there for 16 hours. Are you going to be able to do that and still be to work on time? Or maybe you need to take a different project, you know what I'm saying, that's not going to take as much time. So just balancing that, and then just setting time out for you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your day is, okay, maybe you work Monday through Friday, but you know, okay, Saturday morning, I don't really do a lot. You know what I'm saying? I might just be chilling on my phone. Okay, well, that's the time that, you know, you can take to evaluate your opportunities. Where you say, okay, I want to start a business. So that can be your time that you say, okay, I'm going to take an hour every Saturday for the next month, you know, to research this business that I want to start.
4 hours more research than you did when you didn't do it, right?
Exactly. And so when you insert something into your schedule, it really helps because it's not like, oh God, I got to do this. Oh, I didn't get a chance to do that. But it's already planned. Just put that in your calendar, maybe you need to put your phone on do not disturb. Sometimes we need certain things like that to help eliminate some extra distractions. So things like that will definitely help you to be able to do both, because I believe anyone can. You know what I'm saying? I believe that a lot of us are working our 9 to 5 so we can fund our dreams.
Right. Exactly.
Until we don't necessarily need it anymore, because hey, when you're working for someone else, you are funding someone else's dream.
Period.
So make sure that you take some sort of time to be able to fund
your own dreams. And so, Facebook people, I hope you guys are getting this, and Instagram people, I hope you guys are getting it. We're super excited about this wisdom. Girl, you would think that you've been on the earth for decades. Well, it has, but just a couple. Right. My gosh, it seems like you've been here forever. Were you here? Are you reincarnated?
Right, something like that. I guess I got an old spirit.
Well, you got an old spirit, and the most important thing you said is that you get wisdom from wise people. Yes. And very rarely do you find young people who work toward their goals every day. And many times, they go to school, they go to work, they, do life, and then they end up forgetting. How would you encourage people to not get stuck in the rut and focus on their goals? How do you encourage people to not get stuck in the rut and focus on their goals?
Okay. It's not easy, because it's very easy to get stuck in the rut and the routine. I mean, like for me, I know when I was working certain jobs, it was like I was eliminating my dreams from my life, because I was working jobs that were a lot of hours and very stressful. And so even when I would leave work, my mind was still on work. I realized, that was not the right opportunity for me, because you're very capable of working a full job, having a family. Because like I said, I have friends that I'm like, you're superwoman. I'm like, you're taking care of your mom, you got a child, you're married, you're working a full-time job, and you're acting like, wow. I look at some of my friends like, but like I said before, like if you really want to do something, you will do it, and you will just make it a priority. And it doesn't take necessarily a lot of time. Like if you just plan those small little parts of time, you will realize over time, like, wow, look at all that I have accomplished.
Right.
And so with not being in the rut, it's just look at your life and evaluate, where you have a small amount of time, and decide what you want to do with that time. And I personally feel like motivation and wise counsel is important. If you can't, get a mentor. You know what I'm saying? Find someone that is doing something that you want to do. Follow them on social media. You know what I'm saying? Kind of observe the things that they are doing,
Right.
And so that will definitely help, because sometimes we need motivation outside of just ourselves.
Right.
Sometimes
exactly.
we do need that. So that's one of the things why I say those motivational, videos and stuff on YouTube is great,
Exactly.
Because sometimes we need that push. And it's like, sometimes we realize we think we don't have time, but we do.
Right.
We really do. It's just a lot of times we're just using our time not in the wisest manner.
Right. That's good stuff. That will help you to not be stuck in the rut, is just using your time effectively. And here's the thing about time. It doesn't wait on anybody. It's going to continue doing its business.
Yes.
It's going to continue moving, whether you are joining in with it or you're letting it pass you by, right? And so, and I say that trying to manage your time is a misnomer, because you can't manage time. You can only manage yourself within a time frame. And so what you do within that time, it's totally up to you. And I love that. And then as a young businesswoman, what attracted you to the idea of the I Choose Me message?
Okay. Well, what attracted me to it is because I feel like in society, people look at choosing yourself as a selfish thing. But putting yourself first is really very selfless, because
Yes.
when your cup is filled, then you have something to pour into someone else.
Yes.
But you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very important for you to, choose yourself so that you can be a better version of you for everyone else, because the people around you are going to receive the overflow of what's on the inside of you. That's why it's important to put wisdom inside, feed yourself with wisdom.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Just like, what we see on the outside is based on what we eat. It's kind of the same thing. And what are you listening to? Who are you communicating with? Who are you hanging around with? Because all of that is going to be a mirror reflection of your future. So I think that it's very important to make sure that you are taking your time. I mean, I see, even people who are mothers, I'm saying, you have kids that are pulling at you, but, take your time, whether you need to go get your nails done or, as a mother, I see my friends that have kids, even though I don't have kids. You know what I'm saying? They can't even take a shower without their kids. You know what I'm saying?
In the shower, next to them at the toilet.
Yes.
You can't do anything.
You know what I'm saying? But, just, finding some sort of moment where you can, take some time for yourself. Take some time to, pray. Even if it's not, not everybody can say, okay, at this time every day. It may not be every day. It may be once a week, maybe once a month. But just making sure that you have some sort of priority for yourself, because when you're happy, you're going to be a happier mother. When you're happy, you're going to be a happier significant other, a happier friend, a happier, coworker, all of that. So, it's definitely about self-love, So when we love ourselves, when we value ourselves enough to say, you know what, I do need to take some time for me, it will definitely help us as we deal with others and life in general.
Bravo, Shavon. Bravo. That is absolutely what this whole thing is about. And we said that the I Choose Me message is probably one of the selfless things that you can do. And this is quotable. What you put in is a mere reflection of yourself. So whatever you see is a reflection of what you've put in. Joy, what you eat, what you drink, how you communicate with your ear gates, because it'll come out of you.
Right. Okay, whatever you listening to.
Oh, it's gonna come out. Right. And so I really appreciate you taking the time to share your wonderful wisdom, because you had to come across town to be able to sit here with me. And I appreciate you spending your Saturday with me and with the people. And I want to encourage you to share the message as well, because places like this or opportunities like this also helps you to be a blessing to other people across the globe. And what you've shared here today is life-changing. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you sharing your wisdom. It's absolutely awesome. Thank you for choosing yourself. And thank you to your mother, because I've known your mother for a very long time, and she's a fashionista. And let me tell you, she doesn't go anywhere. Well, you know what I mean? When she's stepping out for real.
Right.
And you, since a little girl, been knowing you since you're a little girl, to see you grow up to be such a beautiful, strong, talented woman that is full of wisdom. And I pray the blessings of the Lord over your life and over your future and your future family and everything that you do. You guys, thank you so much for joining us for this live session. I've had a blast with actress, singer, woman extraordinaire, Miss Shavon Majoi. And we encourage you to visit the website at letitiabrown.com to get your I Choose Me merch, because as you wear it, it is a friendly reminder to yourself and to the world of how important it is for you to choose yourself first, again, so that you can be of service to others. And then, of course, please pick up the book, Get Up You Big Fat Procrastinator. It is a wonderful reminder of the importance to get up and follow your passions, right? Well, God bless you all real good. Take care now. Share and like. God bless you all. Bye-bye now.